Hi, Dr. Smita. It's good to be with you. And
Hi, Dr. Alejandro. I'm so happy again to be with you
and
and
today,
see your people. Your followers are great. I'm so happy you have this uh, very sincerely interested followers. Some of them have been, in fact, contacting me to get more tips on natural health. So I'm very impressed by your followers,
they are loving what you have to say, and I'm sure
and
they're
I
gonna love
love
it.
them.
I'm sure
I
you're gonna.
love them.
I'm sure they're gonna love it even more now because everybody is interested in autoimmune diseases,
Yes.
um, and I want to hear the Ayurvedic take on autoimmunity.
Yes. So if you remember last time, I was talking to you about basic fundamental principles of Ayurveda related to immune system, ojas. And Ayurveda says there are two kinds of ojas, para ojas and apara ojas. So para ojas is precisely what we call as the inert, the immune system that is there within you, like a humoral cells, basically hardcore, those immune basic cells, which then whenever there is any trigger creates a specific antibodies to find certain antigens or toxins or virus, bacteria, whatever, and foreign body can be there. So that specific immune system is like acquired immune system. Ayurveda calls it apara ojas. Now, what Ayurveda says, and there is a very specific shloka in Charak Samhita, in the first part of Charak Samhita, where there is impact on ojas from different food and lifestyle related situations, life related situations. So, first of all, of course, wrong food which causes inflammation can trigger immune system to behave in a very abnormal manner. And when the toxins are deposited in the body, the our own immune system will think this is a foreign body and start attacking to destroy this demon of toxins. Toxins are like a demon. We don't need. The body says, I don't need this. And the immune system is supposed to be fighting and clearing this out. So when the cells is saturated with toxins, that's what they say, ama, the visha we call it in Sanskrit. Visha means toxic material. Then that cell is losing its natural being, and the immune system will also create uh, fighters against this one. So that's one. But the second main important thing, which I have seen in my practice, because I'm working for 32 years, and Ayushakti clinic chain that I founded many years ago has every month more than 10,000 clients from all over the world. So I have seen in this so many people, that nowadays the main cause of autoimmune is actually a very deep rooted childhood experiences, traumatic experiences, suppression of expression, anger against a family member which is not expressed. And in Ayurveda, there is a specific shlok which is talking about it. It says, when in the young age, or even in an adult age, when you are facing a strong emotions of krodh, shok, and achamba, which means literally the translation is that anger, a shocking experience, a traumatic shocking experience in your life, or a very, very deep sadness, very deep saddening experience, which
So,
stays
so
with you.
Dr. Smita, when you see patients,
Yeah.
do you ask them these things or do you detect that in their pulse?
Actually, because of my special blessings of my teacher who lived up to 124 years, and our lineage is 2,500 years old actually, I have learned to understand this deep childhood trauma by looking at the pulse normally. But sometimes if you cannot, somebody cannot find, you can definitely talk to them. So I will just give you one example. I have so many examples, so many, but this one for me is a very striking, and I cannot forget this one because it's very deep. So one man from LA actually came to India. This was like 1.5 years ago, last year, precisely actually last year. His name is Orion. You know, I've got his video on my YouTube channel, and he, you know, he has written a book on all the traumatic experiences he went through. Actually, I was not aware that he has written that book. So when I checked the pulse, I said, I feel this deep trauma. Oh, hello. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
I know, but can you see me? Because I can't
Yeah,
see you at
I
what went
see.
wrong.
I see you.
Okay.
Hello.
I don't know what went wrong.
Okay.
Okay. So he when I checked, I found that he had a lot of traumatic experience as a child, and he told me, yes, I've written books on that because I suffered a lot from many things actually as a child, from different tortures and etc etc. So he really, if you look at his whole history, the first thing he suffered was ulcerative colitis, which is an autoimmune problem, just when he was 14, 16 years of age. Then after that, he suffered from multiple allergies all the time, respiratory allergies, nut allergy, a very, very dangerous kind of tree nut allergy all the time. As soon as even he had a little trace of any nut in his food, he had to be taken to the ambulance and to the hospital. And then, you know, he kept this injection in his bag all the time, which, you know, anytime there was any trace of nuts, he had to just take this EpiPen injection. So, and then the third thing that he suffered, which was asthma, and that was also autoimmune again, inflammation in the respiratory system. And lastly, he had DVT, which was a lesion, according to the doctors, inflammation, uh, inflammatory lesion in the veins, which was causing the block, and that's created deep vein thrombosis, for which he was taking obviously prescription medication, so many of them. And so we just went. So this is a typical example, and I have hundreds of these examples in my file. And when you do, I will show you a typical marma point today, which people can use in their life to release this childhood trauma.
So,
It
so let
takes
me ask
time,
you.
but it's helping.
Let me ask you something.
Hmm.
Once you determine this by the pulse,
Yeah.
which by the way, you have to teach me one day,
Yes, we'll do
because
that.
it's kind of like magic, right? Um, but once you detect it,
Many doctors are doing that actually all over the world.
once you detect it on the pulse, or it comes up in your history taking, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you prescribe some kind of emotional support therapy, or is it just Ayurvedic medicine that takes care of that?
So actually, in this situation, normally three things are always helping. One, we have to definitely work on the immune system, because physical and emotionals are going back and forth. If you balance physical things, the emotions are also coming back to the balance, and if you balance emotions, physical comes back. So they are really very interconnected. So in this situation, the first and foremost thing which I have realized works very well is detox and nourishing immune and nervous system, both combined together. So I'll give you an example. For example, this man, Orion, we did 3 weeks of detox in India, but you can also do a 7 days of detox every month, gradually. Like I've been always talking about mung soup, vegetables, fasting for 5 to 7 days every month. So somebody can do that. And then take herbs like, for example, ashwagandha, but some people don't feel good with ashwagandha. But Brahmi, there are two kinds of Brahmi. One is Bacopa moniera. This is a Latin name, Bacopa moniera. And and another Brahmi is Centella asiatica, which we call it gotu kola in English. It's very popular like gotu kola. So these two types of Brahmi are absolutely great for healing emotional things, because Ayurveda says that if your mind becomes sattvic quality, pure quality, then it can heal the emotional scars very easily.
So
And
you
they
don't. So
also help.
you don't have to do psychotherapy or things like that to resolve
Most
the.
people, they come to us after doing a lot of psychotherapies, trust me. So I would show you a marma point that we do, and I have seen that has a great effect. I'm not against psychotherapy. It does help actually, but people do come after doing a lot of psychotherapy. So I think you have to do physical cleansing, because when the toxins are removed, the body has a capacity to heal, a tremendous capacity. And the toxins actually block this capacity to work for us. So when you
So
detox.
so tell me, you were giving the example of this patient that wrote the books about
Yeah,
his. Tell
right.
me what you did for him, and how long
Yeah,
did it take for
one was
to
one
improve?
we did this 3 weeks of detox program, which is a very deep Ayurvedic cleansing program. I was talking about it 1 or 2 times before. I think it was very technical. I think people probably must have got bored. But in short, it is lubricating, liquefying the toxins, bringing it to digestive tract and expelling them out of your system. That's what we do in these 3 weeks. And then we do specific way of nourishing the body in the detox program. So after that, two system we have to nourish once this cleansing is done. Emotional channel, which is the mental. Emotional channel includes brain. So Ayurveda says the quality of brain is very important. So if your brain is sattva, pure quality, then it has natural healing capacity from trauma, from stressful situations in life, and you don't get afraid, but you will say, okay, this must be something in a bigger picture of God's vision, that I have got it and I have to move forward and find a solution, so I become stronger. That's how you think when you have sattva quality. But when you have tamas or rajas quality, then you will say, okay, this fellow did wrong to me, this fellow did wrong to me, I am angry, why I did this to myself, and there's complaint, there is dissatisfaction, anger, everything. There's no completion.
So
So first,
what's the first quality? The one that
sattva,
understands
sattva quality, sattva.
sattva.
Sattva quality person, and specific food increases sattva quality. For example, fresh food, white pumpkin, ghee, pure ghee. I am against dairy products, okay, but ghee, Ayurveda says ghee is very good, but my experience is not good at all. I don't know what, sorry, not ghee, milk. Milk, Ayurveda says, is very good, but I am against it. But that is also increasing sattva quality, but I don't tell people to take milk. But I definitely tell people to take ghee, which doesn't contain, it is from the milk, but it's not having the bad quality of milk. It is a clarified butter. It removes all the inflammatory substance out of it. So ghee, almonds, fresh fruits, then fresh vegetables, cooked vegetables. mm, Most of the meat increase the bad quality of mind, but maybe some meat would be fine. White meat, lean meat occasionally is okay. and then everything which is like brown rice and those things are increasing sattva quality. So you, if you first you eat the right thing.
What herbs increase sattva quality also?
So the main herb which increases sattva quality is, uh, first one is Bacopa moniera, which is a Nir Brahmi. We have a bliss. There is a product we Ayurshakti has, whose name is Ayurshakti's Bliss formula. So this bliss contains a huge amount of high quality.
We have a really good one in Organic India.
Yeah, but Bacopa Muniera is very good. Then Ashwagandha is good as well. Um, Ashwagandha is not increasing sattva quality, but it is helping the nervous system, which is the second thing we have to do in this case always. So, but now I'm talking about this, which is white pumpkin, which call it in Sanskrit Kushmanda. Kushmanda, white pumpkin. So white pumpkin extract, if you can find it, like I have in Bliss, we put a huge amount of white pumpkin extract. Then Centella asiatica, Bacopa moniera. These are herbs which increases what we call as sattva quality of mind. Okay, so that's first thing we have to do. The second thing we have to do is to create nourishment of the nervous system, because for years and years the nerves have been always become very sensitive and reactive to even small things. You know, they just are very fragile, very fragile. So ashwagandha helps the nervous system precisely. It doesn't increase the sattva quality of mind, but it helps the nervous system. So that's those things can really help. Then you have to work. In this case, for example, I worked on the immune system. So there is this home remedy which I gave him, and I was surprised because while he was there, we went for a Ganesh Pujan. In India, there is big Ganesh festival and everybody prays. So he loves this cultural thing. I take everybody with me. And we went to someone's house and they gave a little prasad, you know, ladu, ladu, Indian sweet. So he asked if there is any nut in that. They said, no, there's no nut. And he ate it and there were nuts, small pieces, very fraction of small pieces. And he immediately got swollen up on his face, eyes were itchy. So this home remedy anybody can use instantly to feel, and every day if you do it, it is a calming autoimmune responses in the body. It's a kitchen formula, because when he got that reaction, unfortunately he forgot to carry his injection in the bag, and I saw his face. I was panicking. I didn't know what to do. So I went in the kitchen. I found turmeric. So I took turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon. So turmeric is the best autoimmune calming thing. Curcumin and turmeric here is the best. Okay, when you work with the immune system, some immune things are calming the allergies and immune hyperactivity. Turmeric is one of that. And in order to help turmeric to penetrate fast, I added black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon, and pure ghee, 1/2 teaspoon. I gave
No,
this mixture.
no, sorry to interrupt, but I am kind of fascinated by the connection between emotional trauma and the
Yeah,
immune system. Is there something like an emotional immune system described in Ayurveda?
of course, of course. The basic immune system is actually emotional, mental, and physical.
Uh-huh.
All three actually.
Can you tell me a
So
little bit about the emotional immune system?
absolutely, because Ayurveda says that immune, a very, like you eat everything and you digest, it goes into different tissues. Finally, a nectar stays like an ojas in a few drops near your heart. That's something that is connected with your mental, emotional, and physical immune system. So emotional immune system is such that, heart is directly connected with emotions in Ayurveda. Heart is in the center of emotions, actually. We always feel, basically, something, fear, grief, everything, you feel something in the heart always. And people whose heart is closed, they literally get many times problems with their blocking of arteries or things like that. So whenever you are for example facing a very strong emotional situation in your life, because around you nothing is in your control, it can happen. So your brother has betrayed you, parents have, for example, as a child, parents always wanted that their children have to come up to some level, and for this reason sometimes they go far, and children can feel literally tortured in that situation of expected to be performed at such a young age. So so that's the situation where the emotionally you are loving someone so deeply, and that person is very strict, disciplined at you, and not giving you a chance to breathe. And that time this ojas, the emotional shield of you, comes to your protection. In which way it comes to your protection? So that child who has a strong ojas and with a good quality of mind, the sattva quality of mind, will always respond in a positive manner, that my parents are doing this because they are wishing good for me, and let me try, instead of rebelling. But people who have a very fragile immune system, and emotionally they are not able to create the defense mechanism, which is, I would not call it a defense mechanism, but I would call it like a response mechanism, okay? Because the poor immune system will create a reaction. It will react to a situation instead of responding to it in a positive manner. So, or talking to the parents, for example, and say, okay, I understand your expectation, but I will try and do it slowly, instead of, feeling shrunk and suppressed as a child. So I'm just giving you a typical one example, but there are always so many examples
Yes,
in
yes.
our life, with our husband, with our wife, with very close friends, or we always feel this situation where either
So,
we are,
so, so
yeah,
as a child, when these reaction response mechanisms are not mature,
yeah,
and if something strong happens, it gets stored as trauma.
it gets stored as trauma very deeply, and it can actually shrink the immune response where it is needed, and it will create the hyperactivity of physical hyperactivity of the immune system. Because as a child, when this such experience comes, and he is not fully like, his immune system is not really developed to help him in a right way, then he is hyper reacting in his heart. He is complaining, he is angry, he cannot express it, and he feels suppressed completely, and sometimes even feeling choked emotionally. So that will cause the immune system to trigger and become physically hyperactive, because internally, emotionally, it's already hyperactive, it's reacting. Sometimes it shows the reactions in the behavior pattern by expressing it, or sometimes they don't show it, but in their heart there is a choking and suppression feeling. So
So
both of
in a
them.
way, you know how some people cut themselves and other,
Yeah, yeah,
hurt themselves.
yeah,
The
this
immune
is all.
system, the immune system is kind of cutting itself from the inside
Right,
as a
exactly.
consequence of these disturbances or distortion.
Absolutely, I have seen it. You will not believe me, but this is the truth. I have seen so many MS, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, and it is mentioned in the books of Ayurveda that when you have not dealt with the anger in a right manner, like you feel angry, you can get autoimmune skin problems like ojas related mahakushta, what we call it, mahakushta, which involves practically so many tissues. It is mentioned, but I have seen, like, for example, psoriasis is a very interesting example. I didn't actually believe it in long many years ago. But because of treating now hundreds of thousands of cases of psoriasis, when I talk to them, it comes out that there is anger which is not expressed. This is in psoriasis. In MS, there is grief, a very deep level of grief and complaint not expressed to their parents as a child. This is always in MS. And I am shocked each time I see the patient, it comes out. This is some connection, a strong connection of emotional impact on our immune system, and it's attacking
Well,
different organs.
as a cardiologist, I can tell you that the broken heart syndrome is
Yeah,
is a real thing, because
yeah.
the if grief or
Mm,
sadness can
mm,
literally break your heart and people die of this, then
yeah.
I don't even want to think what it can do to the immune system.
So that's why I am thinking that if you treat the immune system, the emotions, like in this Orion's case, for example, I was telling you that he had this severe reaction, and I gave just this home remedy of turmeric, black pepper, and ghee. And I gave it every 5 minutes. I was shocked actually, but his whole reaction subsided completely. He thought I saved his life. But I was literally so afraid because I thought, oh God, he doesn't have this injection. What will happen now? But he was fine. So the thing is that then I understood very clearly that he needs to balance his immune system. But you will not believe me, once that happened, when I gave a huge amount of this, and we have immunoformula, which is more of an autoimmune modulator, I saw that emotionally he was also more calmer and relaxed, much relaxed, after some days of taking huge amount of immuno calming herbal formulas. So it has a kind of a connection with each other, and also this one marma point that I always tell people to use whenever there is any old trauma, complaint, anger against anybody. I always tell people to go to their this hand, which is my left hand, I would say left hand. Take the left hand, yes, like this. Yeah, this is the left hand, and there's a junction of this bone from the thumb and first finger.
Put your
There's
hand
this.
higher. Put your hand higher a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And here in this junction there is this point, you know yeah, perfect. And when you press this point, if there is a old scar not healed, you will feel a little pain, you will feel a little pain. This point is right inside the junction of the bones, actually not on the bones but right inside. Okay, and you press very hard and you will feel this little tenderness there. Yes, yeah. So that really is something that what we call this. So Ayurveda has these marma points, which when you press them, it actually unlocks some blockages in the subconscious mind. You have to keep doing it every day. Like I tell him to do this 6 times every day,
For how long?
remember, and saying, okay, I forgive and forget you,
When
whoever
you
is the
when you do it, for how long?
So normally I would say 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So when you are pressing it for 6 times, just close your eyes and always remember that person. If you are blaming yourself, remember yourself in front of you in a frame and say, I forgive you, I forgive you. When you do this, this has an impact on subconscious mind, and it will slowly and steadily help you accept the situation, help you forgive this whole thing. My son has come here. I want you to meet him. He's also studying Ayurveda. He's my son Krishna, Dr.
Hello,
Alejandro.
hello.
Nice to meet you.
He's the cardiologist.
How long until you graduate?
Oh my goodness. First off, I'm so happy to see you. I've heard like more than 2 earth worth of things about you.
Nice
All
to
great.
meet you.
I've been talking to him about you, and I said, my God, this man is so interested in people's benefit. I love to talk to him.
And when are you graduating?
I would respect. Huh?
When are you
Yeah.
graduating?
When do I graduate?
Yeah.
So officially, I graduate in about 3.5 to 4 years, depending on when Corona situation ends. Then time may extend. And otherwise, I've been learning from mom and dad since the age of 6 months.
Are you seeing patients already?
Legally, no, but I've been learning and seeing pulse since the age of 6 months. So about 15,000 pulse so far I have seen.
He was sitting in my on my lap and my husband's lap when he was so little.
Do you have any stories of you using your knowledge of the pulse with your friends, detecting something and being helpful?
Oh my God, believe it or not.
So we were talking about Orion actually, and autoimmune and the traumatic situations as a child.
Yeah, true. Now,
No. What I want to know is, because you know how to read the pulse, and it kind of is like magic. I want to know, when you do that in front of your friends, and then you're right. I want to know one example of that.
That's what I'm gonna share with you. That's what I was gonna share. So you would be surprised about this story. Most people are surprised. When I first joined Ayurveda college, which was last year, even I did not know that I could read pulse really well. I knew that I used to go each time mommy papa had a clinic, see people's pulse, share with them. Papa used to tell me, okay, now tell them, mommy told, what do you think? And I would just say, yeah, this is what I think. So I didn't find it like that. I thought, yeah, this is something, it's like since 6 months, so it's a second nature. Then when in college, I started asking all the professors, so do you teach pulse reading also? Do you teach this? Do you teach marma? Do you teach like this? They said, no, we don't teach pulse reading. And I thought, what? How is this? I thought this was part of Ayurveda. So slowly, some strange stuff started to happen. When I was doing magic, I said, I want to perform wherever I go. But now passion was Ayurveda. Passion was healing. So I said, wherever I go, I just want to see pulse. I just want to help people the way I can. If I don't have a license, I can help them with home remedies, with some marma points, which can create a different transformation. So I start seeing pulse of my friends. First day, I see it in like close friends who are just around me. And then they're like, what? How are you able to say this? How are you able to say this? So even I'm nervous, like, how am I able to say this? Then I start recollecting, oh, this is how it goes in your subconscious mind. Since Papa was teaching me from 6 months of age, and then Mummy was teaching me, everybody argued. And then my father also started arguing, saying, no, this is not about age. It's about putting in his subconscious. So it's an intuition. He sees pulse not with techniques, but with intuition, with a different third eye, like a third eye opens where he can discover and feel what's happening in a human body. And now I realized what was happening. Mummy taught me such great things. Then crazy things happen. Next day, line of 15 students comes. See my pulse, see my pulse. Then professors start gossiping that this guy does some stuff with the pulse. So third week into college, I'm seeing the pulse of the professors. And then They say, and then finally they say, how did you learn? So I said, look, I cannot teach or anything, but my parents are there. They have been training me. So then 4th week, when my mother has a clinic, the professor from the college comes to mom to learn.
I was like, oh my God, what's happening?
That's amazing. I am so jealous. I would love to have had that kind of training since 6 months of age, because now it's in your blood.
I think so.
Amazing.
Oh, it's so nice to meet you.
Doing. Yeah.
Double nice to see you. I'm so happy to see you and what you do for the world. Thank you.
We'll meet soon.
Yeah,
We'll meet
hopefully.
very soon. Amazing. Wishing you amazing, lots of love and gratitude.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm so happy. Yeah, he's going. So we'll talking about this emotional connection. Yes, it has a very strong connection. Trust me. Everything emotionally is impacting the physical body. Ayurveda has mentioned that, but I think just in 2 slokas in 1 chapter. But at that time, I think we were not so emotionally impacted, because now the life is so fast. We don't give time. I mean, Corona, look at this universe has stopped.
And Corona is a double hit, because on one hand, you need your immune system strong just in case you catch the virus. On the other hand, it is making us scared and anxious and fearful.
Yeah, which is shrinking the immune system.
So it's like you're getting hit from all places. Plus, at this time where people should be eating real foods and good foods, everybody's eating crap. So the immune system is even worse.
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting calls from people from different parts of the world. They say, I've lost my routine now. Before, when I used to go to the office, I had my routine. Okay, I did exercise, I went to the office, I took this kind of a salad from that restaurant and this, and now everything is gone. I'm just, in front of me, there is this huge pantry and I have nothing to do. I'm just constantly eating and eating and no exercise, forgetting the routine. That's even worse. So it is hitting double financially. But one thing, if people can take out time to talk to their family, because that's why in Charak Samhita, mention of this emotional aspect is just in 2 slokas. Because at that time, I think we had enough time and we used to talk to each other. And we used to complete whenever there was hurt, upset, in a very nice manner. Now we don't have time, so what we do is we just don't talk, and then it grows. If you sleep with the problem doesn't sleep, it grows. Then it grows and becomes an invisible wall, and that creates a family problems. The breaking of the family, whether families are broken in a physical way or not, is immaterial, but people stay together, but there's still no harmony. Because so now Corona says, okay, you have to stay at home, at least spend time with each other, talk to each other, listen to each other, forget and forgive each other. That healing will help immune system to build up again.
Yeah. So just to make a summary of what we spoke, is that Ayurveda considers that many of the autoimmune diseases that we're suffering from have an origin or are linked somehow to past emotional trauma, sometimes even from childhood.
And I'm just expressing that this is very mildly mentioned in the books of Ayurveda. But from my experience in nowadays, it's like a major cause.
Right.
From that point of view.
And what people can do is do a detox and they can also take herbs like bacopa and ashwagandha and turmeric and use
Yeah.
marma points. Like
And Guru Chidisphera cordifolia.
Yeah, Guruji.
And marma points.
And marma points. Well, thank you so much for another great class. I love your son. I'm hoping I can meet you guys in Mumbai soon.
Such a wonderful to talk to you, and namaskar to everybody again. And I love you all. I love you, and I love to talk to you all.
Bye,
Be
Dr.
healthy.
Smita. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.